All right. Moore. Here. McAbee.
Here.
Simeon. Here. Schultz. Here. Forward.
Everybody's here. Nobody's there. Next on the agenda is approval of the agenda. I'd like to make an amendment to the agenda. I'd like to add item L, like to director administrator to immediately seek filling position for a new code enforcement.
That's on the agenda.
That's on the agenda.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, then we don't need to do that.
Item L, second page, got 2 pages. Good night.
Yeah, well, you can forget that.
Okay.
All right,
Do you want to make a regular motion?
I'll make a motion to for the agenda as submitted.
Second.
can you read that, please? You can say, accept as presented.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented. All those say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Approve amendments to the minutes. Regular minute, May 9th, 2022. We'll do that one first. Any questions? Okay, we'll look for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting, May 9th, 2022.
I'll second.
The motion is second. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, look for a motion to approve minutes for June 2nd, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes from June 2nd, 2022.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, motion to accept the minutes, special meeting June 20th, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes from June 20th, 2022.
Motion, second. Support. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Thank you. Next on the agenda is public comments. This is your opportunity to address the council. We'll take notes. It really isn't you have a chance to ask questions and have it back and forth. We'll respond when it comes up or at the end of the meeting. If it's on the agenda, we can address the questions then. Public comments, like.
I have a comment. This is Shannon McCafferty on Zoom.
Are you good for a Zoom comment?
Yes, I didn't know we're hooked up.
Not supposed to be, but okay. Go ahead, Shannon.
Well, I am part of the public and I've joined the meeting, so, but my comment is on the agenda item regarding the property that the resident is requesting assistance for property flooding. I would just like to mention to council that we had a huge lawsuit on flooding because we did not assist people. And then when we did assist people, it turned into a huge lawsuit. I would advise against this, as it'll open up a whole can of worms for everybody in the village who has a water problem, whether it's an act of God, water that they live near. I just see it as a big risk to the village. That's all.
Thank you. Next.
So remind me, do we just stand here?
You can just stand right
Say your
there.
name, Candace. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Candace Beauchamp. 10107 Creekside Road. And I have copies for all of you. May I present?
Yes, please.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My color copier started going at the end, so some of them may be a little sketchy on the back end. So, dear council members, and I'm just gonna read it as I wrote it. We need your help with a potentially dangerous situation occurring between our home, and am I allowed to say the addresses, mine and my neighbors?
Sure.
Okay. We live in the Creekside Village condominium subdivision. We are located at 10107 Creekside Road, and our neighbor's home is 10113 Creekside Road. Our neighbors are new, they've just moved in, so they have been apprised of the issue. Upon mowing our lawn, we discovered a small 5 to 6 inch hole where the ground has opened up, a possible sinkhole near the storm drain. It goes down the hill. The ground around the drain and the drain itself also appears to be sinking in. We tried ourselves to put topsoil in the hole, and you could hear it dropping and not staying in one spot. I saw the DPW one day in town a few weeks ago. They said first contact Genesee County Drain Commission, which I did on the 24th. And they pulled up our address and said they have no drain from the county that resides there. So they recommended that I go back to the village. So I stopped by the village office again last week, talked to Tracy, who passed the message to Matt. Matt came out right away to review and agrees it could be potentially deep and dangerous, potentially 10 to 20 feet deep. He asked that we bring it to your attention this evening for further instruction. He himself can provide more details as to what he observed. We certainly have several questions, but ultimately are seeking your expertise to advise us as to who can diagnose the severity of this issue, whether it be minor or major, and what the potential resolve will be. We feel it needs to be done in a very timely manner to prevent any unwanted dangers to both ourselves or to our homes. We are the original owners of our home, and so we believe the drains were constructed in 04 or 05 prior to the construction of the subdivision, and they're probably approximately 18 years old. Unfortunately, we do not have an association because it was turned down and dissolved back in 06. That information is online, and we have it if we need it. In the meantime, all I could do to prevent anybody from stepping in it or tripping, whether it be ourselves or our neighbors, is like a little suet cage with yellow flags around it, just to kind of bring our attention as we mow around it and to prevent anybody from walking in the area to avoid it. We're not really sure how large the circumference could be, however. So I attached some pictures, and then we provided our lot map from Keith Engineering, which shows that there's a 20-foot private easement that's available for anybody to get down there to fix that or repair that. And that's right on the information when we purchased the home.
It's a 10-foot easement on our property line, 10-foot easement.
On both sides. Yeah. So the neighbor and us, we both share a 10-foot easement. So we're just hoping we can get your expertise and then get some prompt attention, because we just don't want it to get worse. And we can't even believe we found it. So
We're not certain who did the actual work, but I know it was submitted for approval for the village, obviously. The builder was building in there, and that's why the easement was also provided for, eventual access to that area that needed to be repaired. So we don't know who we go to or who we call to even estimate it and to address it immediately.
Just out of curiosity, can you just kind of point on your, like, where the drain is on the
it's
property?
halfway down the hill. So we have a walkout. So so here's the front of the house. It's the back.
This is the front.
Yeah, this is the front of the house here. So the back of our house, it's about kitty corner. It's about right in there. Yeah, because our patio ends here, and then it's like it's just off the patio. This is the house.
So is it on your property?
It's on both. It's right directly on the middle.
It's right in the middle of the
It's right in the middle of the easement,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's center.
Right on the dotted line.
But we don't know how big it's gonna be. It could be 5 feet. You walk up to it and 2 or 3 feet, you can fall right through.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So we're kind of afraid to go around it.
Totally.
Yeah, it's about.
Here's the end of the house right here, so it's just a little bit north of that.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah. It's right over here.
Pictures too
On
to
that-
show.
Yeah, it's right over there. Yeah, we're on the
Ma'am,
Creekside.
Are you gonna address this?
We're gonna.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we're 10 houses down.
Yeah, yes, I was just making sure, yes.
Yeah, Matt, later, Matt will share with them. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Thank you.
Add the appeal.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm just curious, are we just down to one public comment now? Does it have to be anything other than-
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
everything right now? Sorry, one moment.
Yeah, this-
Yes.
Mr. President, I'm State Representative David Martin. I'm out of the Davidson area. Redistricting now brings me down to New 68 South, which includes Atlas and Goodrich. So I just want to come down. I've been in the neighborhood, just want to introduce myself, and I'll stick around for the meeting. And if anybody has any questions, I'll be.
Thank you. Anybody else? I think I saw a hand back there.
Nope.
So I just had a question about that drain. Is this a private drain? That was put in?
Well, that's what we're gonna have to find out. I'll address
We're
that
waiting.
later.
We're waiting. for,
Oh,
Yeah,
This is the first report.
Yeah, this is just heard about today.
Yeah, it just happened.
yeah.
that's my word.
Okay. All right, public comment is over. 8A, Treasurer's Report, May 2022, in June 2022. For 2 months, we didn't have a meeting last month. Tracy? I can lighten this.
The treasury's report, it's there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It is.
Anything unusual?
No, nothing.
All right. You had time to read it. Any questions? Looking for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report May 2022 and June 2022.
I'll support.
Motion and support. Being a money matter, Tracy, roll call, please.
Swart,
Yes.
Walner,
Yes.
McAbey,
Yes,
Moore,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
motion is approved. 8B, payment of bills, transfers, May 2022 and June 2022. Any questions? Looking for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of bills and transfers May 2022 and June 2022.
Motion and support. Any questions? Tracy, please.
Walner, McAbey,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
Swart.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Number 9, administrator's report.
A couple months ago, the Goodrich Methodist Church requested permission to conduct an outdoor concert on July the 9th. And council approved that request, contingent that they notify everybody in the surrounding neighbor about the concert. Well, on May 25th, I received an email from Pastor Joel indicating that the band that they had booked pulled out of the July date. Now they are planning to have their concert on August the 13th, 2022, as long as you have no objections. And they did contact their neighbors and everybody's good with it. So that's just for information for you, as long as you guys don't have any problems with them moving it. No problems?
No problem.
Okay. Municode's completed the legal review and summary and manuscript of our ordinances. The manuscript is close to 500 pages and has been provided to each of you. Goodrich High School has provided us with a copy of their insurance policy that the Village of Goodrich has a rider for their parades. We had requested that they do that, if you recall. We received our second and final ARPA, American Rescue Plan Act payment of $98,992.45, which gives us a total of $197,987.50. We have 7 years to spend the money on approved projects. So when you look at the treasurer's report, the last treasurer's report, you'll see the money is, she's showing the money there, the 197. We also have a sinkhole located in the front of the municipal building, and our DPW supervisor, as directed by Wade Trim, is in contact with the county. However, the county claims that it does not belong to the county Surface Water Management Division, and that they have forwarded Matt's email to the Drain Commissioner's Water and Waste Division to investigate if it could be from a sanitary line before they determine if it's a private drain. So we are doing our legwork on that. Now, it's out here by the sidewalk. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yeah.
By the sidewalk. We have I provided you a copy of the innovation exchange provided by the Federal Highway Administration, local and support regarding aquatic organism passages. Webinar scheduled for July 21st, 2022 from 2 to 3 p.m. No registration required, and the access information is on the notice if any of you choose to want to listen to that webinar. VC3, which was previously IT Right, which is our IT people, will begin our email mitigation update to Office 365 on the evening of July 13th, 2022. And on July 14th and 15th, they will be available to assist each of you, council members, with the changeover to the new secure email system. I provided a copy of the email and the directions for both iPhones and Androids. They will be available. There's a phone number there. They'll be available for, anytime you need them to help.
On the 14th and 15th.
Mhm.
Thank you.
They'll be here all day on Thursday, changing all of our equipment around too, so. Okay, and that's it for me.
Who voted on Office 365?
Thank you. Sherry?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Sherry.
Can we back up just a little bit? Can I do the code enforcement?
Yes,
You- we don't,
yeah.
let me just explain this. I did ask our DPW to pull any of the signs, political signs that are in the right of way where they should not be. Anybody's got a sign out there, they're gonna be pulled, and if you want to pick it up, they're gonna be back here by the dumpster. So they are helping us there until we get a DPW person.
Great.
But they, they're not gonna be going out and doing the other, code enforcement stuff. They also, we have a lady that lives directly across at Eagle and M15 when you pull up. The one that's next to the subway shop. She called me the other day, almost in tears. And she said, don't people have to ask permission from homeowners to put signs in their yard? And I said, yes, they do. And she says, well, there's like 3 or 4 of them in my yard. Nobody's asked permission. And I said, well, if you don't mind, I said, I'll send my DPW worker up there and get them off your property. And she said, please do. So Garrett went up there and got the signs. And so I don't know who's putting signs in people's yards without asking permission, but you can't do that. Okay, you can't. So that's where we're at with that right now. And I just wanted you to know that and I did speak with the issue on Hegel there where the guy's putting the house in and the grass growing. And that's being worked on with our building inspector. The guy didn't realize that there was going to be so much junk down in there, and he has to get a special engineer's report inspection in order to put a foundation in order to hold the house that he's going to be in. And I also told him he can't be living in a trailer there. You just can't. He said, well, he didn't expect to have to be, but because of the issues that come up. And I said, if you want to come and present your case to council, you're more than welcome to, but right now you are violating our ordinances. So I did inform him of that. We also have another one over on, is it Oak, Tracy? Or what's Oak? That is also violating it with a trailer over there. So we are in desperate need of a code enforcement officer to handle these things. So, but I've been trying myself just by calling them and letting them know that they are in violation. But I'm not going to go and issue a ticket. I'm not doing that.
Can I just chime in real quick on that topic? Do any solicitors or door-to-door have to come get approved by you first?
We do not have an ordinance for that. No, it would be nice if we did. Yes,
Yeah.
but no, we do not. And every other municipality I've ever worked at, we always have one that they have to come and register and have an ID. Yes, yes,
Okay, thank you. That's another
absolutely.
day.
So yes, that's it.
Thank you.
And that's it for me. Thank you.
Just, no.
No.
Last. So do you want me to read it? Do you want to let you-
All right, I got
Oh, we got the playscape off, we got the retool that's donated as a park.
Looks really nice too.
I got
Got some nice pictures. Why don't you pass that along? Rose?
So we got that all done. That's what we got from Oak Tree.
They sprayed it down, looks nice.
And we car washed it. They're all clean. Goodrich Metals is done now. That's the project's all done. We got flowers playing around town, the bridge M15. The intersection downtown. Mowing's slowing down pretty much, actually. It's pretty much. We are gonna run a chipper again. We're hopefully gonna help this time. So I know there's a lot of trees, East Eagle Road, by Fairview. There's a lot of trees at East Truck, so that's on the list. We did some ditching at East Eagle Road, out by M15 on the north side. We did some ditching there. And we got our radar speed signs in. We have a slight issue, and I might need your help. Where to put them? We have two of them. Most people put them going into town, but they can't be any trees nearby. You don't want to curbs. It pretty much has to be a flat, open area. So we kind of be limited to where we put them. And basically, this is what it looks like. This in Davidson is pedestrian crossing, but it's facing principal, same side pole, all that.
I know personally, I'd love to see the one that we approved for East Eagle heading westbound be right at like the village limit sign, because they have two heads up saying 25 ahead,
Right.
25 ahead. So then at the village limit where it's your jurisdiction before the bus stop.
Yeah, two of them are both the same thing.
Well, then, yeah, the other one's then.
There's West Eagle and the other one.
The other one's for Ridge.
Ridge.
Oh, Ridge.
Yes.
But there's, I assume it came with the hardware that pull the pedestal. It doesn't. So
We have an abundance of 25-mile-an-hour signs there. We don't need 4 in a row. We just need the radar.
Well, there's an additional cost for the poles. There's specific poles that are required. How much are they, Matt? Tell them.
Pass this down.
We can't use the ones that already sit there already there.
No,
because
no.
of the weight.
No, the weight. No, you
They're
cannot.
extremely heavy. It takes a 4.5-inch round pole. Roughly about $1,600. That's for poles. So $800 piece roughly.
And there's no other companies that you can find these poles, correct?
Correct.
We looked for other companies, no other.
You have pour a concrete tier. And there's a base and a round pole that goes through the base into the ground. So, and they're permanent, that's what I'm saying. We need to find a spot. Once we concrete them, anchor them, they're not going to be permanent.
So can you find out exactly where, because that, if we do it a foot outside the village limit, I don't want to cause a stir later, but for the one coming in, tell where it can be,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
And Ridge Road. Probably towards Green Road going into town, somewhere along.
Well, they want it going towards the stop sign that keeps getting avoided. So that would be,
Going out, going towards green.
there's everybody's blowing that sign. So
So
they're hoping that a radar will say, slow down, need to stop sign.
It's like, like to see how these work out, because I mean, essentially, we really should have got 4, 2 for each road, so that we can cover both directions. I'd like to see how these go, and these particular radar signs capture actually record information, so we know how many people are speeding, how fast they're speeding. We can shut them off after a certain, after they go to a certain speed. So have these kids trying to see how fast they can get number 2. But anyways, we should be able to collect some useful data with that, and I'm hoping that we you see how these work, that we will purchase 2 more so that we have one coming in each direction. But I guess for now, man, I guess you need to look at what areas are have the most sunlight rate for the solar.
Now, on Ridge Road, we put a stake in the ground road right away at resident's house. And she called, wasn't too happy about the stake in her yard. She doesn't want the sign in her yard.
But it's not in her yard. It's in the right of way.
Technically, right.
She doesn't want to have to turn
Yeah,
around.
she don't want to turn.
Did you want people to slow down?
Well, it's in the right of way,
It's
so
in the
it's
right
really
of
a
way,
new.
Then going to the drain and Creekside, there's simple up here. The issue I have is both sinkholes, usually it's a mortar around the pipe that failed. But that one's over 10 feet deep, and so is the one on Creekside. And I don't have a trench box I'm not sending my guys that deep down there without a box. We don't have one. So that's probably to be hired out if it's ours. And usually, as per time it's happened, when we've had a sinkhole outside the road right away, it's always been a county drain. Now this time it's a private drain, so I'm not sure exactly how those do it. This never happens out of here. So
Thanks.
you're welcome.
Okay.
Did we have our engineer look at these?
Not Creekside. Kevin didn't look at the one out front here.
Because didn't the road commission tell you, Genesee County tell you it was not theirs, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So we need to determine what we're going to do. So council,
Kevin looked at the last thing we out.
and what did he say?
He needs to get back with us.
Oh, so we're waiting on him to get back. Okay. All right.
We're waiting on the chair. Anything else? Thank you. Code enforcement, we talked about that earlier. Billing activity report, May and June 2022.
So on the back of your June report, I did like a summary from 2018 to current, just to give you guys kind of a ballpark of how many permits that we usually get. And of course, the COVID years are a little low, but we're back to about where we were.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of permits. We've got 21 as of the end of June. I think I've done another 4 or so since then. And 8 of them are residential.
The new construction or the modifications?
8 new builds,
New build.
Yeah.
Good.
few new commercials.
All right, thank you. 9E, fire department activity. We got 2 months there. And, 34 calls, fire department to assist, smoke, sheriff department activity report, May and June 2020.
They did not provide June because the person that normally provides this report for them was on
Okay.
vacation, so it didn't get done. So he'll get that to us, and I'll get that to you as quickly as I receive it.
So what you have here is May,
Correct.
11 pages. Looks like there's two months here,
Nope.
but
Just one.
11 pages with the stops, inquiries, assists, and that's quite a bit for one month. I always like to point that out. And we should be appreciative. Okay, item 10, unfinished business, there is none. 11, new business. Resolution number 2022-10, extension of local taxes. Sherry, let me-
This is every year we have to do this to allow the treasurer to put the delinquent taxes on the taxes. What it is.
Regular
Resolution.
housekeeping. pretty much.
Housekeeping. We could have Melissa read it, please, into the record.
Resolution number 2022-10, the Village of Goodrich extension of local taxes. Whereas the state of Michigan allows the Village of Goodrich to extend local collection of taxes, and whereas it is the desire of the Village of Goodrich to extend collection of its summer tax, now therefore be resolved, the Village of Goodrich does hereby determine that the village summer operation tax shall be returned to Genesee County Treasurer on the same date that the county taxes are returned delinquent for collection on March 1st, 2023.
Thank you. Questions?
I'll make a motion to adopt or
Yeah.
adopt resolution number 2022-10, extension of local taxes.
There's a motion and support. Any questions? Tracy, I think we need a
Yes.
roll call.
Simeon,
Yes.
Lentz,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Waller,
Yes.
McAdie.
Yes, motion is adopted. 11B, resolution number 22-11, delinquent sewer charge collection.
Melissa, please.
So resolution number 2022-11, the Village of Goodrich delinquent sewer charge collection. Whereas the Village of Goodrich sewer ordinance provides that any delinquent annual sewer treatment charges in arrears more than 3 months will be placed on a tax roll as a special assessment. And whereas there's a certain number of property owners that are delinquent in their annual sewer treatment charges in arrears that are more than 3 months, now therefore be resolved that the Village of Goodrich Treasurer is hereby authorized to submit the attached sewer treatment charges in the arrears more than 3 months on the tax roll to be collected for taxes for July 1st, 2022. I'll make a motion to accept resolution number 2022-11, delinquent sewer charge collection.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions? Tracy?
Moore,
Yes.
Waller,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
Lentz,
Yes.
McAdie.
Yes. Okay, motion is adopted. Now, resolution 2022-12, Village of Goodrich building permit fees.
We provided you with, you go to the third page. That's the current fees right now. The first 2 pages with the highlights, those are the ones that we've increased just a tad. These are equal to, Tracy, what did Matt looked at? Matt did this, our building inspector. And these are about comparable with the, still less, but still less than surrounding areas, but more comparable.
Okay.
So let me ask the question, how does this go in bringing us more into line as far as, I mean, it doesn't look like we've increased the very much. We're still paying out more for the building inspector than what we currently collect in fees.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if you look at what we've collected so far, just in 22, we've collected almost $20,000 just in permits, so.
Okay.
No, then in other words, no, we collected more than what we've paid out.
Okay, that's all I wanted to make sure.
I think COVID had a bit to do with
Right.
previous
Uh-huh.
problem.
Okay. Looking for a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2022-12, the Village of Goodrich building permit fees.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion? Tracy?
Waller,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
McAdie,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Lentz.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Adopted. Okay, 11D.
I'm asking that that one be postponed to the next meeting, please,
Yes.
for further information.
All right, we can do that. Scratch 11D.
I need a motion to
I'll make a
Okay,
motion
I'm
to
sorry.
postpone.
Why are we
D.
postponing?
additional
D,
information,
resolution Number
more information.
2022-15 administrative officers wage adjustment.
I'll support that postponement.
There's a motion to support postpone Questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 11. 2020. -16 adopt amended master plan.
That too, the specific resolution as required by state and federal, needs to be read in. You read that, Melissa?
Yes. Village of Goodrich, County of Genesee, Michigan, Village Council Resolution number 2022-16, the Village Council Resolution to amend master plan. Whereas the Michigan Planning Enabling Act, MPEA, authorizes the Planning Commission to prepare a master plan for the use, development, and preservation of all lands in the village. And whereas the ad hoc master plan steering committee reviewed descriptive maps of the community that detailed existing conditions and land use and reviewed demographic information regarding the existing character of the community. And whereas this ad hoc master plan steering committee utilized this information to form the vision and goals of the draft master plan and assisted in plan drafting. And whereas the master plan steering committee presented the recommendations embodied in a draft master plan to the planning commission for its review. And whereas the planning commission accepted the recommendations of the ad hoc steering committee regarding the revised master plan and submitted this document to the village council for review and comment. And whereas the village council received and reviewed the updated master plan prepared under the guidance of planning commission and authorized the distribution of the master plan to the notice group and entities and identified in the MPEA. And whereas the planning commission held a public hearing on June 27, 2022 to consider public comment on the proposed updated master plan. And whereas the planning commission, based on a review of the existing land use in the village, a review of the existing master plan provisions and maps, input received by the village council, public and notice groups, as well as a public hearing, finds that proposed updated master plan is desirable and proper furthers the use, preservation, and development goals and strategies of the village. Whereas the planning commission recommends that the village council adopt the amended master plan, now therefore be it resolved that the Goodrich Village Council hereby adopts the Village of Goodrich Master Plan, July 2022, including all of the chapters, figures, maps, and tables contained therein.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work.
Got a water?
But you're so good at it.
No, that, and I just want to put out there too for all of our guests. The master plan was a lot of work. I was fortunate enough to be on the steering committee, and we really did put a lot of input and a lot of time. So hopefully if you had a chance to look it over, you see that there was a lot of effort embodied in this.
Is there council
We need-
comment on this?
Well, we need a motion, then you can have comment.
Motion and support. Do I hear a motion?
I'm going to make a motion to adopt resolution number 2022-16 to adopt the amended master plan.
There's a motion, there's support.
I'll support that.
There's motion and support. Comments?
I have some comments. On page 40, where parks are concerned. You have Commons Park, which, yes, we own Commons Park. Two other ones, Friendship Park, which majority of those people in that subdivision did not want that. Second one, or the third one, is Huron Street. That is privately owned property. Yes, it is. Page 50. On number 6, redevelopment of property. You have private property on number 6, Mrs. Hill's property, 10272 Eagle Road. Yep, that's on the master plan.
My comment would be, were they consulted? Not being there. Listen,
This is a future plan for future land use on what we want to do with the village as far as the property.
For private property.
It doesn't matter,
It doesn't-
it's our future land.
We know who
use.
put it on there.
well, listen. Summarize your comments. You don't think these people were notified, had input, and
No.
in the past, comments having your property mentioned, caused some negative, situations in the village. And, how would you like your house mentioned as something that needs to be destroyed?
Not just that, I would like to make a comment on the parks that I spoke of. There's the Goodrich Commons Park, you got Friendship Park, which is in the back of Candace and your property, where they had problems with people coming up onto their porches and coming into their yard. Huron Street is my property, which I could care less about whether they pull the dam or keep it at this point. I have 3 inches of water, 3 feet of water, if that. It's a joke. I have a big problem because we knocked our house down in 2004. We let Consumers Powers put a pole in our yard because we lost power constantly. Parks and Recs supposedly bought my property. Consumers sold it. And it says that me and my husband still own the property. We gave them permission to put the pole there. And they had 15 feet on both sides to cut trees. Next thing you know, my property's being sold. It says we still own it. My lawyer's titles insurance company says that until we get the village to sue us, that they won't do anything, but we own the property. We have the paperwork to prove it. The prior councils, I showed them all of it. They didn't care. Mark Ballin said he's gonna do his due diligence. He did no due diligence. But they keep putting parks in people's yard, but they can't take care of the one we have. So that's all I have to say about that.
Is your concern basically that it wasn't investigated and the property owners weren't notified?
I know Mrs. Hill was not. notified that this was
Doug,
what-
this has to do with future land, okay?
I have the floor.
And I'm trying to correct you so that you understand what the master plan is and what its purpose is.
I know what it is. I was gonna add that in my comments later. But please, stop interrupting. Back to the point. Your comment is that it's inaccurate.
Correct.
Your comment is people are notified.
Correct. I was never notified that my private property was being sold. They told me,
Well-
why don't I buy it back for $1? Why would I buy my property back for $1 when it would come, it would null and void my lawyer's title insurance. So I'm not buying property I own. Put it in your yard.
Well, we're talking about the master plan. And I think that certainly broaden the scope here. Now, my concern is, again, people weren't notified, and if you read what they say about Ken's Ready Mix, I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah. I read that.
Dust, dirt, and sightly. That's caused problems before.
The vacant land across the street that they bought. They
That's right.
put cars in there like it's a parking lot. Not allowed. But they do
Well-
it anyways. They do whatever they want because it's Ken's Ready Mix.
My concern is that it.
Oh, no, I read this thoroughly and I'm very sorry.
Okay.
Point of order.
Point of order, yep.
You've got a motion and you got a second. Now, does anybody else have any comments they'd like to make?
Yes, I do have.
Doug, can he make a comment, please?
Our master plan deals with future land use. We had a steering committee made up of individuals from within the village. And that steering committee spent many hours going through this and updating all the statistics in regards to Goodrich and so forth. And then it went to planning commission. Planning commission also reviewed the document. Steering committee forwarded on to the planning commission for their approval to send to council. This has been through 2 committees, 2 sets of people going through here. This has to do with future land use and taking areas and redeveloping them in the future. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's just a plan.
Well, it did happen in my yard. So,
Sherry, please. Okay, there's been a call for a motion.
There is one.
There's
Yeah,
only
we have one.
motion, yes.
So vote.
Is there a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion and a second to approve the master plan as presented.
Ford,
No.
Swens,
Yes.
Simeon,
No.
McAfee,
No.
Walworth,
Yes.
Motion.
Good night.
All right, you're at F, authorized Michigan Municipal League membership renewal 2022-2023, $1,009.
Motion to. Speak one?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna make a motion to authorize Michigan Municipality League membership renewal 2022 and 2023 for $1,009.
Motion and support to renew our membership. Tracy?
Swens,
Yes.
Simeon. Yes. Walworth,
Yes.
McAfee,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Motion is carried. Okay, 11G. Concur with recommendation planning commission for approval of site plan review at 7301 South State Road. Have to be anybody here?
You can defer to our representative on the planning commission, which is Keith. He could present that for you.
Keith, would you like to do that?
Yeah, we didn't have, any issues with it.
All right. For a motion? Or
I'll make a motion
there's a motion.
to concur with the recommendations of the planning commission for approval site plan review 7301 South State Road. KAJS Holdings petition case number PL 2022-03.
Support.
Motion and support. Any questions?
No, I just have one, just one thing. I'm just gonna pass this down to everybody so you can take a look at it, because when I was looking at the recommendations from the planners and so forth, I'm looking at the picture, trying to figure out exactly what the heck I'm looking at. And the picture in the planning commission is flop 180 degrees, right? The drive-through is showing here on the south side, what the drive-through should be over here on the north side. But other than that, there's no issue.
Is there a buffer between the back of that property and if there's any existing homes? Yeah.
So no, there's a motion on the floor
Yes, in a second.
and a second. Tracy, might better have,
McAfee,
yes,
Walworth,
Yes.
Swens,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
motion is adopted, carried. Okay, 11I. Consider request for assistance for residents.
No,
H.
H.
Hey, oh, I'm getting that. And also concur with recommendation plan commission for approval of partial combination. ID 2-15-576-006. It's 7499 Fairview Drive. ID 2-15-576-007. 7491. Walter Tully, Fisher, case number PL 2022-05.
This is another, just a typical land combination that we've had quite a few of those over there at Fairview. It's, Planning Commission.
And I'll make a motion to Concur with the recommendation of the planning commission for approval of parcel combination for Walter Talley, case PL 2022-05.
There's motion and support. Tracy?
Walworth,
Yes.
McAbey,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
All right, motion is adopted. Now we're going to 11I. Consider request for assistance for resident J. Flowers, 10186 Grandview Drive.
87.
It's 10187.
Exactly. 4%.
Oh, so sorry. That's right. 847 101.
10487. Okay.
We're so sorry.
All right. And this was accompanied by a letter that you sent.
Yes, sir.
And I think,
It was an email. Let him present it.
yes.
Yeah, I don't have it, but I'll present what. Joaquin Flowers, live at 10487 Grandview Drive, and that's in Fairview Hills subdivision. I moved there 2018. During the winter, so you couldn't really tell what that water looked like back there. But springtime, I had water on my backyard. I mean, it's just looked like a lake in the back. Fish, frogs, everything right there. Turtles. And that same year, at that time, I called the county, water county commission, and made a complaint about it. I also made a complaint here as well, but I was told here that it was you guys. I had to go to the county.
Mhm.
Since then, I mean, I have been pumping the last 4 years. You're talking about like 4 feet of water that is a 40+ acre pond back there with no drain. To my surprise, I moved into that. That was not disclosed on any of the paperwork or by the realtor.
You can sue them. You can go back at them. Sue.
And my neighbors, Katie and Dave, they just recently moved into the same thing. It wasn't disclosed to them as well.
Yep.
And I still feel bad for them because I know the same thing. So I did come to the village for help. I was turned down because at that time guys were going to litigation or something from some other folks. It's been a very difficult time. We spent between my 3 neighbors, homes that live off of that water. We spent thousands of dollars over this period, probably 10,000 by now. And gas, getting the pumps, the hoses, things like that. We did get permission to pump from the county. So anytime, like after the winter, and I see that, it's going to stop, it freezes up, the funds melts, I'll start pumping right away as soon as possible. This has been the worst year yet. Right now, my doctor still on the water. Normally, I would be done pumping right now. But because of the winter that we had and the accumulation of rain that we had since the beginning of this year, it's just overpowered pretty much. And I pretty much pump pretty much every day. I'm asking for help because this I'm tired. I am, and it's just come to the point where I did reach out, just so that you know as well. I did reach out to the county. We did a petition and all of that. So I think that's at the stage where they're way trim or someone's doing a survey or something like that.
of the area. But recently, as of last week, there are 6 more new houses that are going up. So now, and they had some guys that come out, contractors come out, clear the land and things like that. I'm not saying it's them, but the level has come. You know, it's come up. You know, I can tell because I pump. I'm doing pumping. And I know every day that I pump, I make a notch where I left off, and then see what the next day looks like. So with these new homes that are coming in, you know, that's going to have more water to it. But these homes are draining there. The businesses that are around there are draining into that water, and it's just. I don't know. It's difficult and it's frustrating that to move into a new home and this is what you're dealing with for the last 4 years.
Very sorry that happened to you guys.
Can I chime in on this? Just because I've put myself just out there to be involved because I feel for them.
Yes.
Mr. Flowers is not asking for financial help. He's asking due to a person that works at the village suggested that the council literally call, email, do anything possible as a member of the council to maybe push this process faster. So I call every other day. I speak to the drain commissioner and I speak to Wade Trim and they say, yeah, but we got it done last week. I said, it needs to be bumped up this week. And his recommendation was if you guys can call and say, this is Sherry Moore from the Goodrich Council, this is Keith Weller from Goodrich Council. He said, it sounds silly, but it literally makes a difference. And if when they get this petition ready, they unfortunately, because of the home sale, they have to have the petition redone now because the old signature is now void. So that has to start the process again, but she feels like it's going to start soon. But if you guys see anything, you know, in the newspaper, I think just please do something to act on this to make it happen faster. Because like I said, you know, and if it goes before planning or zoning committee that these houses want to get built, he's going to ask for a variance to move the houses closer to the road because he knows about the rising water. And I specifically asked the builder if he told the people that bought the house, and he said he wasn't aware of it. He's seen these blue pumps.
Isn't he the original builder?
Yeah, he is, yeah,
Liar.
so he's not telling people, and aside from these 2 families, I don't want to see other families come here, and the Genesee County Drain Commissioner said, do not quote me, but if the Village of Goodrich approves a permit for a house to be built with a knowing water situation, those new homeowners can come back on us, because we let them build a house knowing there's rising water. So we need to stop the zoning and planning commission from letting them do
We
this.
didn't have this problem when that subdivision went in. That was nothing but a bunch of cattails down in lowlands.
And this can go on for hours, and we all know it's because of the broken drain and everything, but
But let me tell you what, when I got this last week, I went ahead and I called the town bureau, the deputy green commissioner, just to find out like where things are at in regards to this. So I'll just tell you what he told me in regards to where this is at right now. He said that this is this it's not a village drain, it's not a county drain, and that this really has to be addressed via a drain district.
yes.
And that this is a new drain and it falls under chapter 3. So they would not be looking at doing anything with the old drain at all, whatever is there. I don't know if it's farm tiles or what, but they're not planning to do anything in regards to whatever is there existing. He said they hired a third-party engineer, which was Wade Trim, to take surveys and determine the route and course of the new drain. He says that once we've completed, they would create a board of determination consisting of 3 Genesee County residents. He said that this is an independent panel and that it has no Genesee County Drain Commission employees on that board of determinations. He says usually that they try to fill that board with township supervisors, not in this jurisdiction. So they wouldn't, look at getting the Atlas Township supervisor involved. But he said they generally try to get supervisors from within Genesee County to become on that board. He says that once they establish the board of determinations, he says that the residents would be informed of the board of determinations meeting. He said the board of determinations will hear everybody's stories, and then they would determine if a drain district should or shouldn't be established. So he kind of indicated to me that everybody gets to come and talk before this commission that wants to, and they complete their case, and that, you know, if there was just one person that was having an issue with it, and other people were like, no, we like it, don't do nothing with it. I don't think that's your case, but he said that the board of determinations would then determine if there should be a drain district established. And then he said if it's determined that a drain district should be established, he said then you got the process of establishing the actual district by determining who should be in that district. He said depending on the previous engineering study and how thorough it was, additional surveys may be needed to determine pipe size. He said also that EGLE, which is basically the old DNR, would also need to look at the project. He said this person is usually a wetland consultant. He said they will eventually determine what the level of the waters should be. And he said that weed trim, this was last month, was just completing their survey work, and we're preparing their report to the Genesee County Drain Commission. And he said, in the end, usually he said once the drain district is determined, he says typically it consists of the county, the residents, and potentially the village.
And how long does that all take?
I don't know.
Sue Hogan told me once it gets the okay, that it does move pretty quickly. She said the petition process is 3 to 4 weeks, but once the petition is passed, then like they can stop pumping, because it means they have a plan that's going to be done in the next, few weeks, months. She said it will be, the paperwork needs to be done.
But has anybody looked at where these drains supposedly are broken or crushed? Where have they looked? Or who's looked?
They have physical pictures.
No, but I mean official people. I mean, I know you guys have. Because, have they just stood on the shore and tried to look, or did they take a boat and go along the edge to see? Because I know when we moved in just shortly before they did, we don't live on the water, but we live in this thing. So we walk all the time, and across the street next to Browns and that other place. Striping guy or whatever. All that was underwater. And so was their water where the event center was. All of a sudden, there's no water there. There's no water there. Somebody blocked it, and I'll tell you, I'm not going to say who it is because.
Please don't.
But I can guarantee you, because I watched them putting in a drain this big off their property to drain their runoff water into the.
So again, like when this gets brought, that's what he's saying is when this gets brought, if you guys, if they say, does anybody want to speak on this? Like you said, they'll ask you to come to the board of declarations, whatever. This is when we need to go help as a council. We need to go and say, and we've heard about this for 3 years now, that people undisclosing, selling their homes, they're putting other families in jeopardy. We need to help with this.
Now, well, let me tell you what has petitions were circulated. Went to the county drain commission. They were logged in. Jim tells me puts them on a rotation. They timestamp everything that comes in, and someone tried to start another petition, which really wasn't necessary. They went in and talked to him. But it's been 2 years since that petition was sent in. And my question to him has always been, how much longer? And he really won't say. The board determination, once it gets to that point, it can move faster. And it will move faster. And you'll do the public hearings and whatnot. The pond is on the verge of becoming a lake, and at 40 acres, it becomes a lake. What changes? I don't think that not much. But this afternoon, Sue and I went to a meeting in Flint at the drain commissioner's office about a drain system coming up from Oakland County. Has nothing to do with this. We took a copy of your letter, and there was nobody there to take it. And we do have that copy. And I don't see any harm in writing a letter and kind of asking. Now, I don't know if things will change much when it's declared a lake. Might want to look at that. Might be easier, might be harder. I think that's a question for Jeff.
Well, it sounds like they're
Please.
very close to
Please.
having the board of determination. Or they've got the survey work all done.
Okay, but to the point, I don't see any harm with that, and I think an in-person visit. I'll go back. You know, it's the problem. If you like to, whatever you want me to take, if you want to amend this or whatever, feel free to just give it to me. And I don't think we need to ask the permission of the full council, but I would still, there is a real danger with too many people going down and asking questions. People are going to say the wrong things. People, by that I mean, you're going to come back. I see this happen on the board all the time. And you come back with an answer, and someone else comes back with a slightly different answer. It causes confusion. Stick to the point. Be a lot more effective. And causes and time limits. I'm sorry, that's past. You know, I could go on because I know that area, but that's not going to solve anything.
That's a question. When something like this happens, is it customary for the council to investigate certain things? Because this was straight sabotage. And the drain for?
And yeah, I like that. Yes, I can answer that question. It's against the law to spend public money on private property. That's your biggest holdback. Reimbursing for gas. There's a separation, and it's just a strict rule because we have other people. We have people that can't get their boats up to the docks. You know, they want to do, and believe me, that's small potatoes. I'm sorry to bring it up as an example, but so that's one reason why we can't spend any money there. It's against the law. Okay. I think we have a gentleman out here.
Yeah, sorry, just got a quick question. First of all, I appreciate all the council's support. I haven't been able to move into Noah's Ark.
A question or suggestion for council. According to your code of ordinance, you can declare an area a flood safety hazard. Any area doesn't mean it falls FEMA, doesn't mean special disposition of insurances or anything, but allows the village and the council to inform people before they purchase property. It gives you, according to your own code of ordinance, the ability to do such a thing. As a council, consider doing that for this property, so people don't fall into, don't help me, they fall into the same fraudulent trap that I've had.
Yes.
It's an excellent idea.
Yes, it is. But I had a quick question. Keith, you were on the thing when that neighborhood plan, what year was that? 1996?
I was not on plan then.
Or not?
No.
What year does it go in? Do you remember?
It's 20 some years ago.
95.
I thought it was 55.
So I don't think we need to make a motion or do any official notice.
I will be calling every day.
Well, let me
Somebody give me-
let me get with that, because like I say, I think there's a harm in having too many people involved.
Okay.
But,
If I recall, the information.
Deem something a flood area, does that open up to flood insurance? Would open up. This is separate, the ordinance.
Yeah.
Separate.
yeah, FEMA,
That's
that's,
the reason I asked. You're supposed to.
you're supposed to, correct.
Yes.
You're supposed to, yeah.
Yes, the title thing. That's what I'm asking about.
Which is, okay, you have a comment?
As far as these projects, I think it's important for everybody to understand, Drain Commission is dealing with hundreds. You can go to their website and look at all their active projects. And so even once you get to that board of determination, you still are looking at an engineering process and a construction bidding process. So you're still, even once you get it all cleared, you may be looking at around 2 years. And they cannot, because they're working 100% out of taxpayer money and this, each project district is financed itself. They can't, no matter how much pressure the village puts on them, they can't say, oh, let's jump to the village's project next. You get stuck in the line exactly where your state champ is, and there's no updates that can alter that because they're held by a very strict book. So I just want to make that.
I don't think there's a appreciate because he indicated at the end that you realize the predicament that these folks are in.
They assess based on need, and they take all those factors into play, but it's not just as simple as.
No, I know it's not going to be a turnover in 6 months, but.
Okay.
The way, yeah, we,
Can I just make a motion for any council wants to assist to get in touch with Doug McAbee for advisement on assisting this process for assistance with Fairview Hills flooding.
okay.
I'm not sure what your motion is.
She's just
Saying
saying.
that if you want to help talk to Doug for advice.
Your motion should read to act as one. It's a good idea.
I'd like to make a motion for the council to act as one and discuss with Doug McAbee before going further with the Genesee County Drain Commission in regards to item I.
Okay, there's a motion and support. Comment?
I guess I have an issue without seeing the letter.
Well, I guess you just have to trust us. We're going to go down and do our best.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd like to hand deliver and have a conversation. It's better than a letter.
Yes, I would think.
So,
Because Sue Hogan does seem genuinely concerned. So I think if you did, Doug, if you went and spoke to her, I think.
yeah, I've spoken to Sue. I haven't seen her in a long time. She went there today. All right. All those in favor say aye.
I need it
Aye.
repeated.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I need
Tracy.
it repeated, because you said it a couple different.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna make a motion for the village to act as one and consult with President McAbee before going further with any assistance for item I on the agenda.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
There was, I'm sorry, Tracy, there was a motion in a second.
Yep, I got that. I just need to know who opposed.
I'm moving ahead.
I oppose.
Okay. Motion carries, with one opposition. Okay, 11J. Consider request good time regarding park
Isn't that in there?
operations for the trust.
Here.
Finally made it up.
So I've got the list. So Jim. Read from Good Times in Goodrich. We requested basically the same thing we ask every year. The first one we've asked for is travel with 21AA on the road to clear for potholes in the park. It's a trip hazard. We're trying to mitigate the risk. If we need to pay for it, we'll do that. So we need that fixed so people don't get hurt. The road into the park. We've asked for the existing quarter down between. Normally, we get a dumpster and garbage cans in the park. We cone and barriers to close Erie Street like we normally do every year. In the last request, we put banners up and it was brought to our attention that the village can't do anything on M15. I'm gonna be 60 years old. I'm not hanging those banners anymore. So we asked for some sort of assistance from Tennessee County, wherever we have to go. What kind of funds we would need for them to help, 20 hours a year to change banners. And I don't know if you've got to see, but we put up the red, white, blue banners.
Yeah,
And those other banners are going up. We're just buying, we just spent $1,500 of banners. We want to continue to do that. The president of our town. And I'd like to address a comment, a couple comments were taken off record after the meeting about our festival. A comment was made to me that we haven't given a cent to the village. And I'd like to disagree about that. We didn't give any money to the village last year, but we cut a fence. We just put a $4,000 fence up in the village in the tennis courts. We just put up banners. We put banners in the past. We bought flowers. We've done many things in the village. Paid for signs before this council prior. So I just want to clear the record that we have contributed to the village. And I don't want to pick a fight with anyone, but we do contribute and we're doing the best to keep contributing. In regards to the hoedown, we've taken the bourbon tasting out. So that is eliminated.
But you guys still have the ball riding, you still have that?
We don't know. We don't know. But we've had a bull down there. The festival passed. We have had a bull.
I never take part in the drinking tents. I go during the daytime, so I've never seen
the bull riding. It's been down there in the past.
I had no idea.
Right. So we have had that as part of our insurance policy. The village is a rider. That's a rider on our policy. $2 million policy.
Sherry, are we a rider on that?
Oh, you
got, okay, gotcha.
You're like on our insurance.
Okay.
Along with Atlas Township, along with Tennessee County. So we try to mitigate our risk. We try to have a good time. We try to make everyone and try to contribute that. So I just want to clear that out that we're not squatters.
Mr. Green, where are you, can you explain again where you're asking for gravel?
On the entrance into the park, that road.
Okay.
Road.
Has that been done?
I graded at the very beginning of spring. There are some holes right up the pavement, which I have no problem.
Take care of it.
Take care of it.
You continue to pay for it. You have to do it.
So what about the rest of the items on there?
Well, I kind of had a quick question. Is it possible that you guys could call a Republican and ask them to bring in, don't you need a dumpster, you said?
Usually the village has been very kind and we've done that.
They have? In the past, when Jackie was here?
Last year.
I don't recall calling him.
I never called.
Maybe Jenny did. I'll check.
I'm just asking because I don't know.
But as
what
far as
prior-
M15, you need to get a hold of the Genesee County Road Commission with M15 and get that permission yourself, because it has nothing to do with us.
It's not so much permission, it's just, if we're gonna change those out, that who's
Okay, our people cannot do it. We're not insurance. Our insurance doesn't cover them on M15. Our employees cannot do it.
Chairman, I'm just
Perhaps someone from the road commission could assist doing it. I don't know who they do use.
I'm not trying to.
He's just asking for support.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to complain, but
Well, I'm not either. I'm just pointing it out.
Permission to put a banner out that I'm trying to help the village look more presentable than I did. So who would I call? Where do I start?
Genesee County Road Commission.
And just start.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have it my way, then I'm not gonna do it. And that would make me naked.
I remember this coming up years ago when someone came about banners and it didn't happen. And the answer back then was Genesee County wants to speak directly to people who are putting banners up, who know that they don't want second or third hand information, links, weights, whatever. They're picky that way.
When I was told back when we started doing this, for football, consumers power owned the polls. And I was studying on each poll. I spoke with consumers numerous times, and I've added them so many times, finally said, put up the damn banners. That's fine, but I'm getting to be at the age where I don't want to climb a 12-foot ladder. I'm 15. All I'm asking for is some sort of support. And I'm not disagreeing with you at all with, but who do I call? I mean, so is there funding for that? I'm gonna call Genesee County and say, hey, look, we want these banners put up, we'll pay you. I just don't.
I think, honestly, I think they might have people that would do it for you if you tell them all the information, because when I called about saying, we get like the illuminated, like, you know, like the road closed ahead signs, when you guys are doing this, I couldn't say like, you know, that Kegel's closed due to food trucks or something, and she, but I will tell you, if she directed me to the Davison branch of the road commission, she said, you don't want to talk to us, Genesee County, you want to talk to the Davison branch because they had like this sector. So just, you don't think you're getting the runaround, they're probably going to redirect you. And they said like, you know, we don't rent out those. But they were helpful when I was asking about the science and stuff too.
I'm not being disrespectful at all. There's 4 of us that run this festival now. There's a total of 4. We run a 2-day festival. I'm really tired. I'm trying to be helpful and trying to make the village better. And things, and if that's not something that makes it look better, I'm okay with it. They can stand there. You know, we don't need to buy the banners or Christmas banners or anything else like that. We'll put the funds something else.
Jim, talk to me after, because I have an idea that. I like to run that idea by after.
Why don't we put more down Hilo Road?
Pardon me?
More banners down Hilo Road.
Because one, we can, but it's just manpower. And so.
But it's not M15. We could help on it, Hilo Road.
There's not many of them.
Well, when
Yeah.
Well, like he had pointed out that consumers owns the lights. That's true. That is correct. And in Flint Township, when I worked there, Flint Township always contracted with consumers to put up their decorations. So it might be consumers that they need to speak with that would put the decorations up.
Well, if you want to talk to him after, and then if you need any help from me, Doug, let me know.
It's frustrating labor alone. You know, and we're 2 dollars for the festival. We don't have time to take.
Understood. But it's not our festival either. I mean, is it?
It's our town.
I understood.
I had a discussion with all 3 of the DPW employees now, and I talked to Matt yesterday or whenever. And I went down last Friday, and the schedule for cleaning the porta potty is Friday. And I looked around. So I said to the boys, I said, you could have a festival tomorrow. Other than the gravel, as far as the condition of the park, it looked pretty good.
There's been a lot of hurdles with the drain and everything. They're doing a great job.
Yeah. Having a problem with people stealing the toilet paper and the hand sanitizer. So, pardon me? Put a camera in the porta potty. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, yeah.
Can we say, look at this, what we need to do, what they're doing for sure? Is this all that we're doing, all of this? Are we doing all these, are we approving all 6 items to be done by RTW aside from number 6?
I'm sorry, I have to rethink that. I think the dumpster, sure, you're gonna check on that. Where do you leave that?
I will check on the dumpster and see if they'll bring you some garbage cans, but if they charge a fee, then you're gonna have to pay the fee. The village isn't gonna pay the fee. I don't think they will. I think I'll lay it out that, you know, what it is, and I'm sure they'll help. But as far as M15, you need to get a hold of the road commission for that. Or consumer.
Thank you for all your hard work.
How much is a dumpster of garbage?
I have no idea.
I mean, it can't be that much.
I don't know.
I would think that.
How many cans would you need for
I
garbage?
believe they brought 10 last year. It's a lot. There's 10 or 12. It's a lot better solution than us bagging up black bags and mass crew going and picking them all up. That's years ago, that's where it started with the dumpster and garbage cans. It was a better solution than the village wasting their time picking up trash up or the bags up because we had to work for it.
And then do you have the cones and barriers or do you use village ones?
Village supplies.
And Matt, is that?
Matt, we go through these one at a time, so the gravel's no problem. You'll breed and bring it and put down whatever it needs to take care of it. Okay. The porta potty,
We don't clean that, it's up to the company, and they run free. This newer one we've had last, what, 2, 3
but we
years.
could call them and say, we got a festival.
Right,
We need
call
to clean up. I'm sure they would come out.
And then after the,
And after that.
before.
What about the dumpsters and the garbage?
Sherry said she's gonna call and said if she can get them, or she get a price, or if they can just give it to us, because like they said, it's a 10 in this hand, you know, two this way. Either they're gonna have a whole bunch of bags to pick up, or they're gonna give us a dumpster.
And the cones and barriers, we've already supplied that. So, I mean,
And you have permission from the fire department to put it across the road, so cones.
Yeah, they're on site.
All right.
so I don't know, I'd like to make a motion that we assess good time in Goodrich with items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything except for the banners on M15, just because it's out of our jurisdiction.
I understand that. I understand that. I'm trying to find a solution how we get around it.
So you're gonna talk to Doug, and then he needs me to make calls or anything available. But he said he has an idea.
All right, so that was a motion.
I'll support it.
Okay, motion and support. Comments? I'll get the dumpster. I'll pay for it.
There might not be a fee.
Might
Let
not
me
be
try
a fee.
first.
You know, yeah. Well, you do all the hard work.
We do as a community.
Okay, all right, there's a motion and support. Comments? I don't need to do a roll call, just, all
In
those,
case there's a fee,
pardon me?
in case there's a fee.
Okay, all right, please, Tracy. Roll
Are
call.
we paying the fee no matter what?
Well, no matter what.
Well, I mean, whether it's $2 or $200.
Anything under 500 bucks.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Walworth,
Yes.
McAbey,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
Schwanz.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Once again, thank you. Better say which one is it? I'll read it.
The Fourth of July was, no, we don't want to ban everybody over.
Yeah.
Already got that out there.
For every holiday. because-
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just like,
Yeah.
the holidays, so we just want to switch it
To
around.
make small ones for the
You're
festival.
right.
We want to put festival going up next week,
Yeah.
so we just want to rotate, keep them fresh.
All right, thank you. We have to scurry along here. 11K, accept resignation of David Lewis from his position as code enforcer.
You need a motion,
I'll
yeah.
make a motion to consider requesting for assistance.
No.
Oh, sorry,
No.
wrong one, sorry.
To accept his
To
resignation.
accept the resignation of Dave Lucic for his position as code enforcement officer effective June 27, 2022. We'd like to thank him for his service and we accept.
So I'll support.
Okay, motion is support to accept resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Page 2. L. Consider application submitted to code enforcement officers and or authorized clerk to publish for applications to fill code enforcement officer position.
Why did we not publish this in paper?
Because we hadn't accepted the resignation yet.
Right, yeah, there's an order.
So why do we have?
Because this
an
person,
applicant?
because this person dropped it off, a couple months ago at the office. I've had it. I just had it in my stuff. I just thought I'd put it on there.
Right.
You can accept it or not. I talked to him again. He said he's still interested. But if you don't want to use this person, then authorize, you can authorize, yep, you can authorize publication.
I
Up
think
to
we
you.
really need one. No, we don't. Yep.
Correct.
Have you, other than phone, have you met him?
Yes,
Is he here?
No.
And
he's very good. He's very qualified, very good. He's been a code
Yeah.
enforcement. He's also a building inspector. I mean, he's licensed. I mean, he's very
Right.
knowledgeable.
Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to, we're doing M, right? Consider application submitted for code enforcement officer or authorized clerk to publish for applications to fill code enforcer officer position.
But which do we want to do?
What do you
But
want to
I
do?
wanted to consider the one that,
So you want to hire?
yes,
my lawyer?
yes,
That's what you're doing.
except, yeah,
Stated that.
Yes.
okay.
Restate.
Well, we would like to accept the application from Brian Elder.
Michael.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
you're on your own.
Oh, I am so sorry. Michael Larry for code enforcement officer position.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Hire, used,
Hire,
Accept the application.
accept the application and hire.
accept, okay. Comment?
Yeah, I just don't think, I don't approve of the process that we're doing. We did not publish this. So that would be my only comment.
My comment would be the contingent of my background check.
What kind of background check?
He works at the sheriff's
He's a police officer.
The sheriff's department.
Yeah, I know he does. How fast could that go? Real fast.
I mean, he's a police officer.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor
Support.
and support. Tracy?
Walworth,
No.
Simeon,
Yes.
Schwanz,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes,
McAbey,
Yes. Okay, L is approved. Now M. Now. Accept termination representation to Brian Elder as village council. Authorize clerk to publish for applicants to fill the position. I think it's pretty straightforward. We need to put something in, and we need to get the process started. And I probably still have the language from the last pad.
I do.
All right. Looking for a motion?
Make a motion to accept termination or representation from Brian Elder as village council and authorize clerk to publish for applications to fill village council.
I'll support that.
There's motion and support. Comments?
He did indicate that he would help us until we found
Correct.
a replacement, so.
And maybe he has the recommendation of
He might.
someone to replace it too.
That's right. Okay. I better have a roll call on this. We're close to this job.
McAfee,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Walworth,
Motion is adopted. And consider purchase of tax reverted property ID 02-22-526-021 and at $1,920.76. Sherry, is this still available?
It is. I called and asked them, even though we missed the July 1st deadline, she said to go ahead, and the treasurer's office said to go ahead and bring it before you. See if you're interested. They'll hold out. You all are familiar with where this is located? This property? Anybody any questions with that? Okay, the biggest question is, if we buy it, what are we gonna do with it?
That is the question. Plus, we can't make a profit.
Correct. A couple of people said it'd be a good spot to put in a couple of future places for electric cars to charge up. It'd be a good place for farmers market. I don't know. It's up to council if you guys want, or we could
I'm sorry.
let it go back to be sold, because if we don't buy it, then it's gonna go out
Right.
for the public to be able to purchase.
What happens?
And then it would be, obviously, it could be something built that'd be on a tax roll, but if you guys.
All right. Looking for a motion.
And if we decide, we can hold on to it. If we decide in a year or two, we just sell it for the price you paid for it, because you can't.
Cannot make a profit.
I'd like to make a motion to go forth with the purchase of the tax reverted property ID 2022-526-021 for the amount of $1,920.76.
Motion and support. Tracy?
Walworth,
No.
McAfee,
Yes.
Moore,
No.
Simeon,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Motion is adopted. Okay, resolution 2022-17. Resolution of support from the county of Genesee to provide grant funds to Grand Blanc Township, Davidson Township, Alice Township, Village of Goodrich, construction of the Curzon Creek Interceptor north. And that is the thing that we went to. And in a nutshell, there's a new line coming up from Oakland County to that sewer line.
Everybody in this end of town, everybody this area is low, very low or without REUs, which is the sewer interceptor hookups, okay? Hookups, sewer hookups for building, for houses, businesses, whatever. The Kearsley Creek Interceptor that's going to be built within the next 1 to 7 years will provide this end, Oakland County, Davison, Atlas Township, the village here, Grand Blanc, all of us out this way with much needed REUs. We're down to like 5. I'm thinking, I'm not sure exactly how many we have, but that's all we have. We have a lot of building going on, coming. We need these. Grand Blanc is willing to loan us, to get us through this year, they will loan us 25 REUs from their pile for a fee of
$453.38
per
per
year
year for the 25 units.
until the Kearsley Interceptor
And then
is built. Then we have one, which this is another story that I'll get to in a minute, that we would be a part of to help pay for and help build. Then we would be entitled to 300 REUs. From that 300, we would have to give Grand Blanc back their 25. So then we'd be down to 275 for our future, okay? That's what this, and this shows that we're willing to do this, and that Grand Blanc's willing, as you can see from the letters, that they're willing to provide us with these REUs. In the meantime, these two went to a meeting today about it. And the Interceptor, if you go to the very last page, the Interceptor cost for the village of, well, it's 32,900,000. The county's going to be putting in, Oakland County is going to be putting in 5 million. Genesee County is going to put in 5 million. That's going to bring it down to 22.9. Out of the 22.9 that's left, that amount will be shared over the village of Goodrich, Davison Township, Grand Blanc Township, and the NWOD. Village of Goodrich's share is $478,610. Davison's is over $1 million. Grand Blanc's over 13 million. Grand Blanc could be paying for the majority of 56%. And then the NOD would be paying for 7 million. If we do this, we're going to have to bond for this 478,000, obviously, $610.
they said we could use our ARPA funds.
We will use the ARPA funds, if we have 197,000. We could use that to bring the amount down to, that we would have to bond to $280,623. I don't know what the figures are. We'd have to get some figures. We'd have to hire the bonding attorney again. A bonding attorney is going to cost right around $10,000, but we can incorporate that fee into this 280 for bonding that we would have to bond. But I'm not asking for your permission to do that right now. I'm asking for your permission for the resolution. But what I'm asking you to do is to allow me to have our council and our engineer review this agreement, because to make sure everything is quite lengthy, and I'm not an engineer or an attorney, so it needs to be looked at by some professionals. In the meantime,
And we did the discussion at approximately 275. That's like the max vacant properties we would have for future sewer usage anyways.
right.
And those then, when they did get established, would balance out not
Correct.
balance out, but have their share of that.
Correct.
Please. You're disrupting the crowd here. They're out there chuckling. We got two conversations at once. Thanks.
Okay, so Doug, I don't know if you want to go ahead with what you guys attended a meeting regarding this today. You and Susan.
2.1% of the project. It's a very good meeting. Fellas, they've done their homework. This is what they do. And they were saying it's now or never. It's never going to be this cheap again, and you're not going to have the ARPA money. That if you're going to build it, it's either now or wait till it's an emergency, and it's going to cost.
Well, if we don't do this, building is going to stop in the village, because we're going to be out of REUs. We're not going to be able to hook up to the sewer.
Well, can we go forward?
Yeah. Question is, if it's worded.
So, I need that resolution for support. Okay.
It says enclosed police file resolution support, which requests the Genesee County Board of Commissioners to also support the KCIF project. The Grand Blanc Township has already approved the resolution. I'm trying to understand, are they, is this resolution resolution asking us to support the county
Yes.
with our ARPA funds towards this project?
Not at this stage.
No.
At this stage, they're looking, they want to know who's in and who's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could look at dollar
Commitment
amount.
to be purchasing the.
Right.
So
I guess I don't think we have enough information to say whether we're in or out. I mean,
Well,
I don't understand what you don't understand.
This first paper is just introducing, saying that the people are already on board, review this over, and then all she's asking for is to let us give her the go-ahead to speak to our counsel and the lawyer, right, Sherry? To make sure review this.
Oh, I need this resolution adopted for council in support. All we're doing is supporting. We're in
does that say
support
we're committed?
No.
of the idea. No, the agreement that I'm asking council to authorize me to have our legal counsel review and our engineers review, that would commit us.
Yes.
This will commit us because this is an agreement, and I'm not.
Well, I would like to adopt resolution number 2022-17, resolution of support for the county of Genesee to provide grant money to Rambling Township, Davidson Township, Atlas Township, and the village of Goodrich for construction of the Kersey Creek Interceptor North KCIF.
And I will support that.
there's motion and support to adopt the resolution. Comments, questions? All right, Tracy, if I could have a roll call.
Moore,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
McAbey,
Yes,
Walworth.
motion is adopted. Now B is closely follows that, authorize review of proposed Kersey Creek Interceptor.
Okay, Keith, this is the contract.
Yeah.
If we agree to this contract, then that commits us. I'm not asking anybody to agree to anything tonight with this contract. I'm asking council to authorize me to have the lawyer and our engineers review this, and if they're going to charge us.
With the resolution, I'm not sure if we commit ourselves, and I don't think we have enough information to commit ourselves yet.
We're not committing ourselves.
And I'd like to make a motion to authorize Sherry to review the proposed Kersey Creek Interceptor North agreement by the village engineers Wade Trim and the legal counsel.
I'll second.
Motion in a second. Comment? Tracy?
Walworth,
Yes.
Simeon,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
McAbey,
Yes,
Schwartz.
Yes.
motion is adopted. Thank you. All right, we're almost done. Council comments? Anybody? I'd just like to say thank you for sticking around. This is probably the longest meeting we've ever had. It's been 2 months. We haven't been last month. We have some very serious matters to take care of. And, thank you for coming. It's always, I speak to the whole council. It's an honor and privilege for us to do this. Thank you.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're adjourned at 7.
Okay, so.
So they did commit to it. They have to. Our back's against the wall. We have no choice, or we're not gonna have any building going. So I don't understand what they don't understand. Yeah, it's good.
Right.